Hello everyone, welcome to Magickal Me. I'm Jamie Mendez, spiritual intuitive and oracle, here with the month of May's Totem Messenger. So what the Totem Messenger is a spiritual animal or guide that steps forward to connect with us as a collective. And I bring forth a new messenger using my own intuitive abilities, using setting an intention for a messenger to reveal itself to me that I can convey to the rest of the world or all of those who find themselves here with me. And what the message is for the collective. So I use my intuitive abilities, I use synchronicity, and we'll talk a little bit about synchronicity because that is one of the most common ways that you can start to recognize totem messengers or spirit animals that come in to work with you. Hello, Jody and Tammy, and let's see who else. Leah. So welcome. I'm glad you're all able to make it. Can you tell me if you are all able to hear and see me okay? Welcome back, Carol. Perfect. I have no idea what has been going on with Facebook Live these last couple of days, but lots of technical issues. But let's stay positive and hope that this time around works. Welcome, Michelle. Thank you, Tammy. I'm glad it's working. Welcome, Lynette. Thank you, Leah. I'll give a few more minutes for people to connect before I actually get into discussing the messenger for the month. Perfect, Kay. Thank you very much. Hi, Brenna. Welcome, everyone. Good. Glad to hear it. Looks like it's working, so fantastic. So I will get into it then. So for those of you who have been following my work in my page, you know that I have brought forth the energy of spirit messages before, or totem messengers. Perfect, Hannah. And those of you who are new to my page or just starting to connect with me, I'll just go into a little bit of a detail. So why I bring forth energy or a message from totem animals or spirit animals is to remind us that not only is it good for us to be connecting with the voice of our own intuition, not only is it good for us to be connecting with our guides that are angelic in nature or come from the ascended masters or gods and goddesses or just even guides that may have been ancestors or passed on relatives. So not only is it good to be doing all of these things, but we cannot forget the importance of our great connection to animals that are also here on the planet, as well as those that are not in our physical realm. And it is a wonderful way for us to connect with our roots and the energy of Mother Earth and Mother Nature. So these messengers that come forward, I set the intention by asking for an animal or a guide to make itself known to me. And now I say animal loosely because it's also, they can be elemental. They can be in a different form. You know, there's kitsunes, there are fairies, there are dragons, there are unicorns, there are mer. So I don't limit it to just the animals that are in the physical with us, okay? So I leave the floor open to any energies that make themselves known. And then I just present the information. So the last week or so, building up to the month of May, one of the animals that continued to make itself known to me, and I even caught sight of one in the physical, was the fox. So fox are incredibly interesting little characters because there's a lot of controversy about what foxes symbolically represent to different cultures. And most of the time, they've gotten a bad reputation for being tricksters, for being those that would deceive you, or you know, when a fox crossed your path, it brought forth a message for you to be on the lookout, that, you know, there was a tricky energy coming in or something like that, okay? So it's not about that per se. I think that perception was a little skewed, because why that comes up is because the fox is so incredibly intelligent. And there were many ancient cultures, such as the ancient Celtic culture and some of the Native Americans, that believed the fox were incredibly wise. So they were very adaptable and had the reputation for being known as a shapeshifter, which means that one minute they're there, the next minute they're not. And I'll tell you that the other day I was at work and I happened to be glancing out my window, and in the tall grass, and I work in a very industrial area, so it is not often that you would see a fox where I work. So I happened to glance out my window and I caught sight of the back end of the fox and its bushy red tail. And before I knew it, the fox vanished, and I quickly left my office, ran outside to see if I could maneuver my angle to get a better glimpse at a fox, because I've always been very intrigued by them. And sure enough, it was gone. It just completely vanished. So they have the reputation for being known as shapeshifters, and this is because the fox, when they go out into the woods, okay? Do you have yours on, Lynette? I'm sorry, everybody. Lynette says, and guess what Lularoos I have on today? So if you have your Kitsune or fox leggings on today, you're gonna laugh because I totally have mine on today. I'm not gonna stand up, but just take my word for it. I have on my Kitsune fox leggings, okay? And we'll get into what a Kitsune is as well. I don't want to get too sidetracked here. So in the woods, fox are able to map out more than one path. They don't always take the same route twice. While they may at times, they have multiple avenues that they know in which to go and to get where they need to be, or to get their hands on what it is that they're after. So when the fox has this ability to, it's a really difficult to pin them down and to map out which way they're going to go next if you were somebody out there hunting for them or looking for them. So they have that shape-shifting ability where they can easily adapt to their surroundings. They can easily transform when need be, camouflaging themselves, blending in with their surroundings, and again, incredibly intelligent animals, okay? So they have the ability to premeditate, if you will, which a lot of people don't give animals credit for being able to do. They have that ability to be able to premeditate and know when they've got to go left instead of going right. So with that said, that brings me to telling you or explaining to you why you too can be like the fox in your life, and why they get that reputation for being tricksters, because you really never know if you're coming or going with them. Hi Rob, welcome. Glad you could make it. I'm talking about this month's totem messenger, and it is the fox, the very clever and shape-shifting fox. So, and I'm going to hold up a card so that everybody can see too, because we're going to talk about the Kitsune. And this card, I want to give credit, is from the Shapeshifter Oracle deck by Lucy Cavendish. What does the fox say? I knew somebody was going to say that. So, the Kitsune itself was a Japanese mythical fox that was more elemental in nature. It was more of a, I guess that you could liken it to a fairy, if you will. But it only in the sense of its energy. It didn't look like a fairy. So these Japanese fox were Kitsune, and they were revered for being very protective. They were also revered for being very trustworthy. So, and they were very wise, sacred beings. So most fox or Kitsune in Japan were known to have, at least as legend has it, they were known to have more than one tail. Depending on how many tails the fox had was how old the soul was and how wise it was. And it was said that eventually, towards its end, when it became a master of itself, it would transform into a white colored fox, and it would have, I believe, 9 tails in total, if I'm not mistaken. So these Kitsune or fox are guardians of the Japanese rice goddess known as Inari. And they are said to, there's, I believe, a temple in Japan that is dedicated to this goddess. And outside of this temple are massive statues of the Inari. So again, they have a very strong protective role as well. So what does that mean for all of us for the month of May? Well, those of you who looked out to my oracle message for the week, if you were able to follow along with that, you know that this month, or at least this week, is opening up to us learning how to trust in the path that is opening up for us. So this is where the fox spirit comes in. Know that when the fox shows up, and whenever the fox has shown up in my life, it was always a reminder for me to just trust and to let go. And at those times, I was always having a little bit of panic in my life, a little bit of fear in regards to maybe people who were in my life, thinking that maybe somebody wasn't trustworthy, maybe a new opportunity or a direction that I was starting to go in, I was a little uncertain about. When the fox would make itself known, all of these things were going through my mind. So it was a message from my totem messenger telling me that it's okay. The fox is making itself known to connect with me and my intuition, to let me know that it is going to show me which way to go. And this goes back to what I was talking about with the fox being able to maneuver many difficult and different paths through the woods very strategically. And this is where their intelligence comes in as well. So when you think of the fox, think of this incredibly wise, protective guardian that is here to guide you through a dark wooded path that might be unfamiliar to you, take you in a direction that might be unknown, but they are guiding the way. That's a very good question. Carol asks, how do you know which is your totem messenger? That's a very good question, Carol, because we do not have one totem messenger. The same exact way we have many guides and different angels and passed on relatives, you know, looking out for us and whispering in our ears. The same way we have multiple animal totems. And this is the way I will tell you my experience. It may not be the same for everyone, but I will just give you what it is that I have noticed with my own path and with my own guides that come forward. So I noticed that I have many different animal guides or elemental guides that come in and out of my life at any time. There's usually one constant animal totem that's always prominent in my life. For me, I like to refer to it as my life animal guardian or my life animal totem. And that for me is the crow. The crow is always there no matter what situation I am in. Sometimes that life totem takes a seat, it takes a back seat to another energy that might need to come in to be more prominent, okay? So it's not that because the fox is coming forward for all of us right now that the fox is our only animal totem, and that you go through life sticking yourself in a box thinking that the fox is my messenger and I only connect with that energy. That would be limiting yourself. So now the fox comes in, but next month the wolf might come in, and the month after that a peacock might come in. So it's always going to be different depending on what you need at that precise time. So how you could recognize that is, first of all, I will tell you maybe a way that you can look to connecting with your life totem is set the intention. Just ask, connect. I would like to be shown which animal is my life totem, and then pay attention to the synchronicity that comes forward in your life. So what I mean by the synchronicity is a repetitious image. Maybe you see it on social media. Maybe you see this repetitious animal all over the place. Maybe someone's talking to you and reaches out to you and says, oh, I saw these crows today and such and such and such. So it's going to come to you through repetition, through synchronicity. So constantly. So when you set that intention, that's how it will show up. And then once you start to realize maybe this is the animal, look back through your life and ask yourself, how has that animal been significant throughout your life? And I'm sure you will notice a pattern, because if it is your life totem, it will have been there on plenty of occasions, and you will have noticed, okay? So as for the new ones that want to come in, they come in as guides to get you through what you need to get through at that particular time. And once you're done and once they've served their purpose, they go away. And that doesn't mean that they won't ever come back. It just means that their job is finished for the moment and they open the door for a new energy to come in and to work with us. So just remember, last month I didn't get to come on and tell everybody about the totem, but it was the deer last month. And the month before that, it was the otter. So do you see how it's all different depending on what we most need? And clearly, what we are going to most need in the month of May is learning how to trust that we are divinely protected and being guided throughout all of these new ventures and journeys and doors that are starting to open up. Because May is a number 5 numerically. So it's all about major changes happening and forward movement, the overcoming of obstacles. So as we go through this intense journey of having an unsure footing in our own lives, trust that the fox is guarding you in every different direction. And if a roadblock comes up, the fox is going to guide you around into a whole nother direction, because that's what they do. They are adaptable. So now not only is my message teaching you or telling you how to connect with the energy of the fox, to look outside of yourself, to let the fox guide you, to learn to trust that the fox knows who you can trust and who you can't, or what you can and what you can't. But I want you to take that a step further, and I want you to take some time meditating. Call in the energy of the fox spirit or the kitsune spirit, whatever floats your boat. Call them in and literally feel your energy merge as one with the fox. And I want you to shapeshift. I want you to become like the fox. Be the fox and embody the fox energy, to just know that you are divinely being guided. You are being shown which avenue is the right one for you. And throughout this entire process, this whole new wisdom, that's what was very sacred about fox to begin with, is that they were incredibly intelligent beings and they were able to premeditate their every move. So know that all of this is yours for the taking. You don't have to look outside of yourself. The fox is within you. Okay? All right, everybody. I'm going to try to quickly scroll through some comments and see what I might have missed. I hope I didn't miss too many. I knew you had them on, Lynette. Kay says, Kitsune are beautiful, UK. Did I say that right, Kay? UK. In Japan, sun showers are called Kitsune's wedding. Oh, sun showers are called Kitsune's weddings. Just a little fun fact. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, I have been incredibly connected to Kitsune for quite a few years now. I did receive messages. For those of you who've been following me for a while, you know that I had a very beautiful guardian here in the physical with me, who was my familiar. Her name was Bagheera, or is Bagheera, and Bagheera was a Maine Coon cat, but she looked very much like a fox. And I would get lots of messages after she passed away, immediately following her death, that she was a Kitsune energy. And you know, it just, once I got those messages, everything throughout life just made sense. How she was guarding me, protecting me, and how she was so incredibly wise and so incredibly magical. So I am very strongly connected to the Kitsune. So thank you for sharing that. Carol Hunt, I hope I answered your question. Rob says, Edgar Allan Poe, The Crow, very symbolic, appears to me with opportunity. Yes, I have had the crow be a life connection for quite some time. Definitely very potent messengers, oracles too. Brenna says, crow is my symbol for my twin flame. Interesting. Oh, you're so welcome, Karen. Zana says, the divine guidance has been so strong for the past month, especially numerically. Wow, well, I am glad to hear that, Zana. Thank you for sharing that. I always love to hear the feedback and how the information that's being given to me to share with everyone resonates with them, and how it's all so synchronistic. Carol says, oh my, I've been getting messages from Abby. Oh, well, I do hope that everybody enjoyed this month's Totem Messenger, and that you hope you see a fox. Well, set that intention, Karen. And if you don't see one in the physical, that does not mean that you are not capable of seeing one in the spiritual or in the astral realms. So when you meditate, you are able to cross those boundaries and remove all boundaries, if you will, okay? All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and all of your patience as I've been struggling this week with my connections and having technical issues. So thanks for being here. Enjoy this month's message, and I will not see you on Friday because I will be away working on some new interesting things with the Ghost Finders. For those of you who know that I have been working with them and have joined in with their team. So I will be away this weekend working on that. So I will see you back here on Moon Day. All right. Bye-bye, everyone.